This is my new Firewood processor. It is the Japa 365 Pro, and it has another distinction called Road, which means it's been put on a trailer and it's able to be pulled down the road with a vehicle, which was important for me because I work out of multiple areas where I get my logs. I had traded in my Dyna. It was a Dyna SC12XP, and while there was nothing wrong with it, it was an excellent machine and would run forever. I found myself spending way too much time resplitting, and it ultimately slowed me down because I make a firewood size for restaurants. I'll show you my sizes over here. So I split it pretty small. The problem with the Dyna, and it was a great machine, I would recommend it to anyone who's looking for a reliable log splitter, a processor. It didn't have an adjustable knife, and the log had to be an ideal size for it to hit the knife, and I was just getting these weird shapes, and it just got such a problem that I was just splitting the logs in half, and then I would pick them off the machine, set it onto the trailer, and then I would bring out my super splitter and then resplit. It was taking me almost all day to make a full cord of resplit firewood. This machine, which comes with a 4, 6, and 8-way knife, this is the 6-way, I can have this trailer totally full, which comes to close to a cord in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and that's all by myself, which is rolling the logs onto the lift and picking the logs up and running them through the machine. This thing is unbelievably fast, and I cannot get my brain around how much faster this is than the Dyna. I think now the Dyna's cheaper, and it was built heavy, it was built to last, and it would be the ideal firewood processor for people that are selling chunk wood, or they're using it for themselves, or buying trucks and making firewood like that. But for me, where the logs have to look pretty and be resplit small, it just wasn't the right machine. This, I think I've hit a home run. It's got a 15-inch bar, and I think it's 73 EXL chain, but it's all standard, and that's a bar that you can get at the saw shop. It uses just regular bar and chain oil, and it's a joystick control. So to feed the log, that runs the infeed. When the log hits this positive stop, which to me is also another big feature to have. The Dyna had that measuring stick, and if you are wanting consistent length, that was slowing me down because I would watch the log come into the stick and I would have to make it go back and go forward. This feeds the log in, it hits this, the saw comes down, and this is on a cam, so as the saw comes down, this moves away to allow the log to fall into the trough. So you feed, you pull down, which engages the saw, and when the log falls into the trough, you push up, and that engages the splitter, and while it is splitting, you can feed the log and then just get ready for the next cut. That's all it is. It's got some adjustments for the speed of the bar coming down. You want it to come down slower with ash because it's a harder wood to cut. You can come down faster with maple. This is the adjustable knife. I can adjust it up and down. And this is the manual splitter. If you have your off cut, you would run it in, and then you could hit this to split it. That all goes onto a 7-foot stacker, conveyor elevator, whatever you want to refer to it as, and it plops it right into the trailer. When I get a big mound on it, I can back the truck up a little bit and get that trailer pretty full. So that's it. It's a rainy day here in Ohio, and I am going to wait for everything to dry off. I have a thing about making firewood with wet logs. I think it's dangerous. So this is how I prepare the logs. So the Dyna was much better at handling crooked logs and knots. This machine is more finicky, but what I have done though is I measure my log when it's a full length like this. I'll measure it. I have a mark on my tape measure which accounts for the kerf, so that I only wind up with one offcut. So all of these have been measured, and I should just have one offcut for half of these logs. The other logs should come in at exactly all 16-inch logs. Like this log here, this piece of ash, I would predict is going to give me some trouble because it has this bend in it and it's got that knot that I'm going to have to fight with on the Japa, where I think the Dyna would have had no problem with it. It had that big chain in feed and you could really muscle the logs around to get it to move. This has a belt in feed, and it is not that long, and it is not that wide. So it's a pretty finicky machine when it comes to the type of logs that you run through it. Okay, as soon as it dries out, I will try to get you a video and show you how this bad boy goes. Okay, goodbye.